Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I am Sasha and we are here with my second book review. So the book we're going to be reviewing is Take My Body by K.A Merikan. Sorry, y'all, I really hate that the camera be doing this weird ass zooming shit. Like, I feel like I have a cameraman in my house. And they're just excited for me to talk. Anyways, I have read a few of K.A Merikan's books. It's two authors that they, co-write books. And so, even though there is a book before Take My Body, you do not need to read it to understand this book, Take My Body. There is no overlapping of characters, meaning the characters don't know each other. And honestly, the characters from the first book are in it for one section of the book and it doesn't even go anywhere. So, it is a good book. I did read the first book, but what I'm saying is you do not have to read it if you choose not to. So anyways, Take My Body is about Gunner and Caspian who went to high school together, and Gunner used to bully Caspian relentlessly because Caspian was short, the typical little tiny twink. And also there was like rumors, I believe, going around and when he was in school that he was gay. And so of course Gunner, used to bully him. But what we end up finding out is that Gunner kind of was battling his own sexuality. And kind of that's why he used to bully Caspian. But the difference with Gunner and Caspian is that Gunner has more of like a submissive side to him. It's not really... Hold on, I'll say that later. While Caspian is more like he wants to be the dominant one, the aggressor. So this is not your quintessential BDSM type of a book. It's just more of their mentality, their mindsets. Caspian just wants to dominate and just, be aggressive and be in control, be the top. While Gunner is more of like he's just inside, he's submissive. He wants to be the bottom and wants to just be told what to do. But because of their differences, I mean, Gunner is, I think, like 6'4", 6'5". He's got tattoos and long hair and very buff. So in his mind, he's like, I can't be this submissive, like this submissive person because I don't fit that. Also, because of his friends, he was deeply in the closet. The baby was in Narnia, okay? So they basically end up switching bodies. The movie Freaky Friday, all those movies like that. But no, it's not this cute little fun time. I mean, it is a good book. What I will say is this book is a little bit more tame. The first book, there was a lot more violence because there's an underlying story for that one. Again, I highly recommend reading it. It is, it's called Feel My Pain or Feel Your Pain. I think it's called Feel My Pain. Sorry, I didn't write that down. I read that book a while ago. I think I reviewed it on, but I may re-review it, but whatever, neither here nor there. So anyways, they swap bodies, can't figure out what the hell happened, but they both get excited because they are in the bodies they think they need to be in to kind of, I guess, do what they want, right? So again, Caspian goes from being this short little guy to being in Gunner's body, a 6'5" guy, muscles and all that. So he's like, damn, I can be dominant. While Gunner is in Caspian's body and he's like, oh my God, I can go flirt with men now and I don't have to worry about my friends seeing me. Even for Gunner, it was something as simple as he can go to a coffee shop and order like a frappuccino type of a drink, right? And not have anybody look at him crazy. And so they actually kind of both try to indulge their fantasies, I'll say. But Caspian actually was going to have some luck. And he had met up with somebody. And when Gunner found out, he was pissed. He was like, oh, absolutely not. You will not do it in my body. And I thought that was so funny because Caspian ended up going to a hotel. And he was there with the guy. And Gunner shows up again in Caspian's body. He's like, you let me in. I don't consent. I don't agree. Because to because to Gunner, it's still my body, and how dare you? So the guy that Caspian was with was kind of like, yeah, is there like a boyfriend? And he's like, no. So then eventually he leaves. So then Caspian's like, screw it. So he, sorry, let me put my phone on. What's that called? My bad, y'all. So, so Caspian's like, screw it. And he brings Gunner in, and I know it's gonna seem so weird because you're like, they swap bodies, but whatever, it fucking worked, okay? So he brings them in, or he brings Gunner in the room, and so Caspian's like, since you're here and the other guy left, strip. And at first, Gunner's like, what? Bruh, like, but Caspian is already like, he there. He's already like fully just committed, okay? Caspian is living out his Dom dreams. Like, he is there. So they end up becoming intimate. And I mean, it was definitely like the spice in the book was palpable. It was nice. It was nice. And at first, Gunner is like freaked out because he's like, oh my God, I can't believe I did it. But it was like one of those where it was like he realized there was no consequences, again, since he wasn't in his own body. And he didn't really feel too, sorry, y'all. He didn't really feel too, like too put out about it. Sorry, I'm getting a message. Oh my goodness. Sorry, y'all. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so, oh my God. Sorry, usually I'm like better than this. Usually I am so much better than this, guys. My brand. So then they basically decide, you know what? Forget it. We're going to just hook up with each other, And again, it wasn't because Caspian wasn't trying. It was because Gunner was just like, no. Because Gunner was still very concerned about if his friends ever saw, Gunner, or in this case, Caspian, out somewhere. So he basically was like, you know what, why don't we just, so they would hook up, but it's understanding that they also live two different lives. Caspian, his family was very well off. He was pretty much spoiled rotten, loved his family. Gunner was literally trailer park trash. Like, I'm not saying that, it was fucking said in the book, okay? He was trailer park trash, lived in a broken down trailer with roaches, and, barely had any money, was having to do deals to earn money, all these other things. So it was kind of like, so when they were living each other's lives, Caspian was kind of like, you know what? I'm going to help you. I'm going to get your damn life up out of the damn toilet because I don't know what the hell you doing with your life. And so Caspian actually was trying to help Gunner not be this pretty much trailer park trash person. He cleaned up his trailer. Like, Gunner had this like on again, off again girlfriend that when Caspian first woke up in Gunner's body, he's like, who are you? Like, we're not together. Leave. It was so funny, And meanwhile, when Gunner wakes up in Caspian's body, his parents are there, or Caspian's parents are there. They've made pancakes, they're talking to him all sweet. He lives in Caspian lives in a nice big house and all these things. And so it was so like, it was like a shock to the system for both of them. It was more shocking for sorry y'all, my freaking side itches. It was more shocking for like Gunner because, again, his mom, I think he said he didn't know his mom. His dad had passed away, so he had always been like on his own for so long. So waking up in somebody else's body in this house where your parents love you and your mom's making amazing pancakes and all these things, he's just like, oh, what do I do? But creature of habit, Gunner also had like a lot of pent up like anger, so he would kind of like lash out. at times, like there was this one particular scene, which I don't kind of mind spoiling it. So there was this guy Alex who Caspian never liked, but when they swapped bodies, Gunner didn't know this, so he wanted like to do like this makeover and be all like open and out. But Alex had him looking a hot ass damn mess, y'all. Okay, a hot ass mess, and so that. Sorry, y'all. I don't know. Guess I should have put my phone on do not. Usually I don't answer my phone when I'm here. Anyways, so um, hmm. So this guy Alex, like I said, him and Caspian never got along, and he had been wanting this car that Caspian drove, which now, of course, Gunner was driving because he was in Caspian's body. And again, he had helped, Gunner get this makeover where he looked fucking atrocious. Okay, like and but again, at the time, Gunner didn't know that that Caspian and Alex did not get along. So, anyways, fast forward, Caspian's parents had threw like a garden party, and they had invited one of his dad's clients because his dad was an accountant, and that's where Caspian was gonna go work, and he invited one of his accountant friends there. So they're at the garden party. He's hanging out talking. Alex comes walking up and was like, "Oh," and he outs Caspian, or in this case Gunner, to Caspian's parents, and Gunner loses his shit and he beats Alex's ass. I mean, it was crazy. And Caspian's parents are like, "What is wrong with you?" Caspian was pissed off. He's like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, and it was just like Gunner was, he was an act first and think never. And so it was kind of like, Caspian was just so pissed off because he's like, this isn't even your body. This isn't even your life. And you're like fucking shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell? Like, I'm so confused right now. And they have been trying to figure out also how they swapped bodies and what they remember. So at the beginning of the book, sorry, I'm all over the place because my phone. But at the beginning of the book, there was a brief moment where Gunner was bullying Casper, and then he ran out and was like hiding behind, like he was like in an alley, and this they called her Mad Madge. She was kind of like a little crazy, and she kind of saw him and walked up with her dog Dingo and gave him some moonshine. So he's sitting there drinking the moonshine, crying, but he's constantly thinking, if I had Gunner's body, they would never bully me. If I had his body. And at some point in time, that's when the next day they woke up and they had been swapped. So they were trying to find Mad Madge so they can figure out what the hell happened and how the fuck can we switch back. I won't tell you kind of later on. I don't want to spoil the whole book for you guys. Okay, I think it's a really good book. But like I said, they kind of continue to go on, and they still remain having their fun, their smexit time. And again, it was just kind of interesting, like I said, to see, again, Casper. Let me say Casper. Lord have mercy. Who is Casper, y'all? Caspian was still trying to, help Gunner because Gunner had owed some money to this one guy, so he helped him paid a small fee for that. And then like I said, he got his truck fixed a little bit. Well, he didn't like get it fixed, but he helped, like he manually fixed it. And like I said, again, Gunner just never had that, I guess, that drive in him to really get things together. So it was always just kind of like, he just did whatever, he had his little shitty friends. And so after Caspian had got outed in front of his parents, then Caspian was pissed off and was like, fuck it, well, then I'm gonna out you. So he outed him at the trailer park where Gunner lived, and Gunner was all mad. Caspian's like, yeah, well, we're even. And so it caused some, of course, a riff, with his friends and other things, and some other stuff happened too. which I won't too much reveal. But overall, I really did like the book. I don't want to reveal if they ever switch back or not, because I feel like if I reveal that, then I reveal more, because there's more to it than if they do or don't switch back. So I'm trying to keep a little bit for y'all, to a little suspensey, rooey dooey. But of course, feelings hard to get involved because they start to really like each other on top of, having their smexy time. But then also, they start to appreciate themselves because, like I said, at one point in time, we knew that Caspian hated being this short guy. He hated being, this tiny, short guy who felt invisible. But in that moment, when he switched bodies and was in Gunner's body, even though he loved being in Gunner's body because it gave him something, he also was still able to now appreciate what he had, and that it wasn't just about the body, it was also about like the mentality and other factors. So that was also one thing that made the book really good. And then again, same thing for Gunner, was he realized that he was just kind of sitting back and doing nothing because he had always felt like and had always been told that he had to do this negative life, dealing of narcotics and fighting and all of these things. But since being not necessarily being in Caspian's life, but also talking to Caspian and all these things, he realized that he did have a lot going for him. And now, one thing, Gunner did have a tattoo on his face. He said he got when he was like drunk. I know he didn't really want it, but again, the man didn't have money, so he couldn't just go get it removed. But he had kind of resigned himself to the fact of, well, I mean, I got a face tattoo, so I guess my life is worth shit. And that's kind of why he just fell into this spiral of, again, having this on again, off again girlfriend, and, dealing the narcotics and hanging out with shitty friends and all these things. But Caspian was able to kind of help him say, no, there's more to life, and you can get the tattoo removed at some point and all these things. So there was a really good overall message of the book. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed their blossoming love, or whatever you want to call it. I rated this a 4. I gave it 4 chili peppers. It wasn't necessarily like a sad book, so there was no tears. There was no like tears about or anything. It is an enemies to lovers, and the series is curse bound because it's kind of dealing with like curses. So there's no other books. This was the last book of the duet series, whatever you want to call it. But I really, really enjoyed it. And yes, again, it is Take My Body by K.A Merikan. And if you have read the book, let me know. Like, comment below and tell me what you like, what you didn't like, all of that. And if you are going to read the book, I hope you enjoyed it. I try not to spoil too much. I try to give some spoilers so you at least kind of know, but I can't give a lot for this one. But it is a really good book. I really enjoyed it. It's about 500, about a little over 400 pages. But honestly, it's a pretty fast read. I didn't feel like it was, I didn't feel like the chapters were too lengthy, because some books, the chapter would be so long and you'd be like, damn, you couldn't break this shit up. But no, the book is really good. I really enjoyed Caspian and Gunner, getting to know them. You hated him, loved him, and then you just kind of like, okay, I like this, but I did think it was a really good book. I do believe it is well worth the read. So I hope you all enjoyed this book review, and I hope to see you all in future videos. Again, do not forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!